The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
We are live from the studio where the vibes are officially entering a level of stress I usually only feel when my phone hits 1%.
And let's be honest, Maya, that's every 15 minutes with you. Look, I gotta tell you, the coffee in here is stronger than the ceasefire in the Middle East right now. Which is to say, it's keeping me upright, but I'm pretty sure it's toxic.
Low-key, same. It's Sunday, April 19th, 2026, and the world is basically a series of chaotic tabs I can't close. We have a packed episode today. We're talking about the progressive surge in the suburbs, the Supreme Court literally screaming at each other behind closed doors, and why private equity is basically a parasite in a suit.
But first, we gotta look back at yesterday. I'm still buzzing from that judge stopping the Nexstar merger. Finally, someone realized that letting one company own 80% of local news is like giving a fox the keys to every chicken coop in the country. No, literally. But then we have those ICE mortality numbers, which were actual villain arc energy. The highest death rate since COVID. It's giving human rights disaster. It's the plumbing of hate, Maya. We've been saying it. The pipes have burst and the GOP is just handing out more water. Anyway, we got a busy show today, so let's get into it. No massive hype needed. The news is doing the screaming for us. Bet. Let's start with some actually good news because my feed needs a palate cleanser. Analilia Mejia, absolute legend. She just absolutely cleared in the New Jersey 11 special election. I gotta tell you, I love this story. Mejia didn't just win, she took a baseball bat to the old school moderate playbook. 70% of the vote in a district that used to be Mikey Sherrill's? That's not a win, that's a statement. Oh, no, literally, she ratioed the entire GOP establishment. She's the co-executive director of the Center for Popular Democracy. She's basically been the final boss of progressive organizing for years. And the best part, AIPAC dumped a truckload of money into the primary to try and stop her, and it just backfired. It always does when you're dealing with someone who actually knows how to talk to working people. You know, Victor, my nephew, the one who thinks he can fix the world with an app, he's probably on his show right now calling this a disruption of the electoral market. Oh, please, Vector is such an NPC. Mejia is out here talking about Medicare for all and abolishing ICE, and she's doing it in Montclair. The suburbs are officially in their radical era, and I am here for it. Well, it's not radical, it's just common sense when you can't pay your rent. But look, the thing that strikes me is the unity. We saw Obama and Mayor Mamdani, the socialist, standing together in the Bronx. That's like a union boss shaking hands with the guy who wants to automate the factory. But hey, if they're fighting the same fight against Trump, I'll take the awkward handshake. It's high-key smart. The unity of the flank strategy is the only thing standing between us and the actual collapse of reality. Since Trump crawled back into the White House, we've won 265 out of 296 key elections. The momentum is slaps. It's the grit, Maya. People are tired of the digital snake oil. They want someone who's unburdened and, as Mejia said, sassy. I love that. A sassy new member of Congress. We need about 50 more of her. Hard agree. But if Mejia is the hope, the Supreme Court is the absolute horror movie. Mary, did you see this report about Kagan and Breyer? High-key, I thought the walls of the studio were thin, but apparently Kagan was out here literally making the walls of SCOTUS shake. Are you kidding me with this? New reporting says Elena Kagan was screaming so loud at Stephen Breyer that the people in the hall thought the building was coming down. And why? Because of the Dobbs leak back in 22. Imagine being a Supreme Court justice and your workplace environment is basically a Twitter thread in real life. It's worse than that. Breyer, God bless him, he's a gentleman. He wanted to speed up the dissents because there were threats against the conservative justices. Kagan basically told him to take a hike. She was tired of accommodating the people who were stripping away human rights.
Literally. Like, imagine your coworker deletes your right to bodily autonomy and then asks you to hurry up with your feedback because they're feeling unsafe. The audacity is legendary. It's giving major gaslight gatekeep girl boss, but for fascists.
I don't know what half of those words mean, but I know a broken system when I see it. The court is a leak in the basement that's turned into a flood. We still don't know who leaked Dobbs, and now we find out the liberal justices were essentially being bullied into silence to protect the guys who were killing Roe.
It's the shadow docket era. Kagan's been dunking on it since last year, but this is high-key evidence that the collegiality of the court is a total myth. It's a war room in robes.
Exactly. And while they're yelling at each other, the Trump administration is out here making a total mess of the economy. Did you see the tariff news? They're opening a refund portal for $175 billion in tariff liabilities.
Okay, so wait. He puts on these tariffs to save America, and now we're just giving the money back to the corporations?
It's a shell game. It's like a contractor charging you double for a renovation, doing half the work, and then giving you a coupon for a free hammer. Honestly, it's a shakedown. Small businesses were the ones who got hit, and you think they're the ones getting the refunds? Please, it's all going to the phase one guys.
It's all about that corporate bag, no cap. And speaking of corporate bags, Mary, we need to talk about the healthcare situation because this is actually nightmare fuel.
Oh, don't get me started on the extraction economy. We're seeing these private equity firms, these bloodless suits, buying up nursing homes and then using what they call sale-leasebacks.
Explain that to me like I'm 5 and I only have a 30-second attention span.
Okay, look, imagine a guy buys your house. Then he sells the land underneath your house to his buddy. Then he tells you that you gotta pay rent on the land just to stay in your own living room. That's what they're doing in nursing homes. They buy the facility, sell the real estate to a trust, and then force the nursing home to pay exorbitant rent.
So the home has no money left for, I don't know, actual medicine or nurses?
Bingo! They saddle the facility with permanent debt, and the investors walk away with a mountain of cash. And the result? Mortality rates in private equity-owned homes are 10% higher. 10%! People are literally dying so some guy in Greenwich can buy a bigger yacht.
That's literally unaliving people for profit. It's giving vampire energy.
It's Genesis Healthcare. It's Steward Healthcare. They declare bankruptcy, shed the liability, and then try to buy themselves back in a sketchy insider deal. It's a plumbing system designed to move wealth from the sick to the rich, and the pipes are full of sludge.
Okay, this is why we need Mejia. We need people who will actually, regulate these ghouls. But before we get to the main story, we have to talk about the international vibes because North Korea is apparently feeling left out of the apocalypse.
7th ballistic missile test of the year. 7! They're launching them from Sinpo while the rest of the world is staring at Iran. It's the golden time for military upgrades, according to the experts.
Kim Jong-un really said, I'm in my villain era and nobody's paying attention. It's a mess. And then the hostage crisis in Kiev yesterday, the world is high-key crumbling, and the Trump administration's response is just more chaos.
It's a circular firing squad, Maya.
Before we get into the Iran situation, which is the biggest story of the day, we have a quick message. Look, independent media like this doesn't just manifest out of the ether. It takes real human work to build the infrastructure. We are 100% here because of the vision and the grind of our creator, Eric Christensen at Neutral Network Media. He's not a media conglomerate. He's a builder who poured his own resources and time into creating this platform so we could have these conversations. If you value independent voices over corporate algorithms, please subscribe, and consider visiting our new Patreon at patreon.com/neutralnetworkmedia to support this work. It's an act of solidarity that keeps the lights on and the servers running.
Yeah, keep the lights on so I can keep yelling at the Supreme Court. Okay, Maya, set the scene. The clock is ticking on Iran.
Okay, literally, we're at the end game. The 2-week ceasefire with Iran expires this Wednesday, April 22nd. Negotiations in Islamabad flop, dead in the water. And while the world is holding its breath, Governor Tim Walz just went absolutely nuclear at a summit in Barcelona.
I saw the clips. Walz didn't hold back. He called Trump feeble-minded and trigger-happy. I gotta tell you, it's about time someone in the party used some real language instead of that consultant speak.
He called him fascist-curious. Mary, that is a legendary read. No cap, that is going to be the soundbite of the century. He was at the Global Progressive Mobilization Conference, and he basically said Trump is dragging us into a war with no threat, no objective, and no exit plan.
Because there isn't one. It's like my nephew Victor trying to build a table. He starts with a pile of wood and a blowtorch and then looks surprised when the house burns down. Trump doesn't want a plan. He wants a spectacle. He wants a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz because it makes for good TV. Never mind the gas prices are hitting levels that make people want to start riding horses again.
No, literally, the Fox News reporting is already talking about a full blockade. It's giving World War III vibes. And Bernie, who we love, was right there with Walz, condemning the illegal and dangerous war being run by the Trump-Netanyahu alliance. Look, here's the deal. This isn't just about foreign policy. This is about domestic survival. You got Mayor Mamdani in New York talking about how this war is killing affordability at home. Every bomb we drop over there is a bridge we don't fix in Queens. It's a direct trade-off. And the ceasefire is expiring in hours. The Trump administration is already signaling that they're going back to active hostilities. It's like they're speedrunning the collapse of the empire. It's a tragedy. You got people in Latin America dying in these Southern Spear operations. You got missiles flying in Korea. And the president is probably busy planning a Bible-reading marathon to distract us all. Oh, the America Reads the Bible week? It's so chuggy. It's like, hey, we might start a nuclear war, but at least we read 2nd Chronicles. High-key embarrassing.
It's a theological shield, Maya. He's using God to cover for the fact that he's breaking the War Powers Act every single day. We're in the final transition from a republic to an empire, and they're doing it with a smile and a campaign rally. But that's why the Walz speech slaps. He's calling out the feeble-minded energy. He's saying what everyone is thinking but is too scared to say. If we don't call it fascism, we're basically just letting it happen. We're NPCs in our own destruction. Well, I'm not going to be an NPC. I'm going to be the lady in the back of the room yelling that the pipes are leaking. But seriously, we have to look at the regional fallout. If that ceasefire ends Wednesday and those gas prices spike another 50 cents, you're going to see a level of civil unrest that makes 2020 look like a picnic. Bet. And with the 2026 midterms coming up, the Mejia victory shows that people are ready to fight back. They're not looking for moderate tweaks to the system. They're looking for someone to actually stop the car before it goes over the cliff. It's about grit, Maya. It's about labor. It's about realizing that whether it's a private equity firm stealing your nursing home or a trigger-happy president starting a war, it's the same people getting hurt. No, literally, it's all connected. The extraction economy, the shadow docket, the Iran crisis, it's all just different chapters of the same flop era. But if the blue surge is real, maybe we're finally moving into a resistance arc for real this time. I hope so, kid. I really do. Because my coffee is empty, my city is expensive, and I'm too old to learn how to live in a bunker. Same. If the world ends, I better have 5G in the apocalypse or I'm out. Oh, God help us. Okay. Let's wrap this up before I start talking about my nephew's crypto portfolio and lose my mind. I'll bet. To recap, progressives are winning big in the burbs. The Supreme Court is a literal screaming match. Private equity is coming for your grandma, and we're 48 hours away from a potential global explosion. Just a normal Sunday in 2026. It's a mess, but it's all mess. Stay angry, stay focused, and for the love of everything, keep your eyes on a Strait of Hormuz this Wednesday. No cap. We'll be here to cover the fallout. Peace out, everybody.
Take care of yourselves out there. It's a jungle.